Nancy Pelosi refuses to come down off her $3.4 trillion stimulus deal, and Joe Biden says he will support her. Hello and welcome to today's Friday the 13th, second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. Mitch McConnell says there is no way Republicans will back a $3.4 trillion deal. Pelosi says she will wait until Biden is sworn in if necessary. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. Now, it's tradition in the United States that Friday the 13th is kind of an ominous date, and I think today might live up to that. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she will not do a piecemeal approach and wants to see the full package she has put on the table passed. Sadly, Nancy Pelosi is more and more affirming what I said yesterday. Yesterday, I said that I personally couldn't see how Nancy Pelosi could get her $3.4 trillion stimulus deal through until after Inauguration Day, with many of her own party pressuring her to do a deal before the new year. She said, "Don't worry, next year we'll have a sitting president." She may get a president, but she will also have to have the Senate, and we will have to wait 2 to 3 months before we know if anything is actually going to happen. So she may get her deal, but you and I get to die on the vine while we wait, right? Now, it is true that Biden said yesterday that he would support Nancy Pelosi in a very large stimulus package. However, it's not clear what changes might be made to the HEROES bill or if they would leave it just how it is. As of right now, that would help with some unemployment for those that are unemployed in February. It may also include one stimulus check. So it's a lot of waiting around for really not a lot of payoff for having us locked down. And now there's the worry that we could be put into a mandatory nationwide 6-week lockdown. Again, I'm just here delivering the news. I don't feel good about any of this, right? Now, Nancy Pelosi said the real problem is that Republicans lack compassion and empathy by not getting behind this $3.4 trillion bill, even though they've been telling her since May there's no way that they're going to spend that much. Before the election, there was a gridlock between $2.2 trillion and $1.9 trillion, and they were never able to come together. And so now we're just been put into a waiting pattern. Senator Rubio of Florida is saying businesses and employers can't wait until next year. Small businesses need money right now. This is who employs over half the country. They will go out of business, and we will see a massive wave of layoffs and bankruptcies if these businesses do not get further help. So sadly, the red wave we might be seeing is businesses falling further and further into the red. That's an accounting term for being in the negative or losing money, which would then force them to lay off even more of the American workforce. Senator Mitch McConnell is also saying that we cannot wait, and his bill includes money for businesses and for schools and for those that are currently unemployed. He then says we can always do more. His stimulus bill right now is projected to come in around $650 billion. It does not include a stimulus check direct to the people, and we will have more details on that early next week. The proposal from the Biden team also does not offer a stimulus check at this point, and only makes room for one if it is needed. But with Biden saying he will back the $3.4 trillion deal, that would get one stimulus check. All right, now, how these politicians don't see that there is a need for stimulus checks is just beyond me. I don't know if they're just willfully blind or they're just, that ignorant. or maybe they just don't care. So as of right now, the only proposal on the table that helps the people has ballooned from 2.2 trillion to 3.4 trillion, with almost no chance of passing in 2020, unless there is a blue wave of Democrats in 2021 where Democrats control the entire federal government. We won't see that 3.4 trillion, and they will have to start negotiations over again. So the issue then is the economy and the stock markets, they don't do well when one party controls the entire federal government, whether that's Republican or Democrat. It likes when the Senate and the House of Representatives are split. But the only way to get this $3.4 trillion package through is to have a blue wave where they control all aspects of the government. Now, this is going to come down to the race for the Senate seats in Georgia. The Republicans did pick up North Carolina and Alaska this week. So it is absolutely going to come down to these Georgia Senate races. And we'll know more about that around January 5th or 6th. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that he will have a bill to put on the floor very soon. However, it is believed that Chuck Schumer will instruct the Democratic Party to reject the bill completely and wait for the HEROES Act. In a press interview yesterday, when asked about doing the $3.4 trillion spending bill, McConnell said, "I gather she, Pelosi, and the Democrat leaders in the Senate are still looking at something dramatically large. That's not a place I think we're willing to go." Senator Chuck Schumer was asked why Republican senators don't want to do the big stimulus. He replied, "We think there's a better chance to get a bill in the lame duck if only the Republicans would stop embracing the ridiculous shenanigans that Trump is forcing them to do in the election and focus on what the people need." Pelosi then told Republicans to stop the circus and get to work on what really matters to the American people, their health and their economic security. To which McConnell replied, "Hopefully we can get past the impasse we've had now for 5 months and get serious about doing something that's appropriate. I don't think the current situation demands a multi-trillion-dollar package, and it seems to me that the snag that hung us up for months is still there." So, if we are all forced to wait until February, the HEROES Act, or maybe something larger, could pass. Discussions will continue next week between the two parties. Perhaps they'll come to their senses and strike some kind of a deal that gets money out before the holidays. I know this. You mark my words. I'm putting this on the record. For the December 11th government shutdown, my prediction is they will magically find money to keep their own paychecks flowing. So anyway, I'm on the record. All right, this is my update for today. I wish it were a better update, but I'm just here reporting the news as unbiased as I can. Now, in political news, President Trump said if he loses, he plans to run again in 2024. There is also talk of the Trump family starting a media company to compete with the news that he felt misrepresented him his entire presidency. He said he won't be making any concessions until all his legal strategies have played out and the states have certified the votes against him. Earlier this week, Pfizer announced that they had a vaccine with a 90% effective rate. It appears they had this information for some time before the election, but did not refuse it. However, the CEO announced this on Monday, and then, as Pfizer's stocks blew through the roof, he magically sold off $5 million worth of stock. So he took billions of dollars of taxpayers' money, held back information until it would benefit him, and then pocketed millions of dollars. You know, it really makes it hard to know who you can trust nowadays. Very disappointing. Well, as we go into the weekend, please have the best weekend that you can. I know that many of you are dealing with massive amounts of stress and massive amounts of anxiety. I wish I had a magic wand to make that go away for you. Anyway, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.